Your Global Village program is back, and we now have with us, besides Tess Deboque, the Executive Director of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, Mr. Rico Pableo. Because we're talking of September as the observance of International Peace Month of the United Nations. And definitely, NCCA, and under the direction of Mr. Pableo, is very much a partner in the execution of the dream to stop violence against mankind and Mother Earth. And we'll show you a short video of the agency, which is the lead programmer for education and culture, communications and science, and that's UNESCO, Director General Bokova, speaking about Unite for Heritage, because war causes not just death and as well as disease, destruction, but heritage as well is lost. And so there is a UNESCO program, Unite for Heritage. We'll be talking about that because NCCA is a key player in the protection of heritage. Now is your time to say greetings to all of your community of artists all over the country. Mr. Pableo.
Thank you, Ma'am Cecil, and good afternoon, ladies. I'm very happy that you invited the National Commission for the Culture and Art in this celebration of global peace through the International Heritage. And first of all, I would like to greet everyone being in the member and the family of the culture and arts, because I understand and I believe that art and culture is essential for man's understanding about himself and his surrounding. We know today that the world is challenged so much with climate change and even misunderstanding among human beings. And I think it is high time now that we have to intensify the understanding of culture, our individual culture, culture of different countries, in a way that we can begin to build the community of unity, a community of collaboration, and a community of sharing of the different cultures that we have and practices wherein we can come up to a common understanding of the best thing for the world today.
Well, that's very well said, especially now that the Philippines is the host and the leader for the ASEAN 50th anniversary. And I know that Tess was so excited that you have this special festival that you have been working on for the IAGA, because as ASEAN host, precisely you were talking about understanding it's the best way through the arts, the festival that you're holding very soon. And maybe you can say something about it, Mr. Pableo, your Budayao in Mindanao. It's going to be in September, isn't it?
Yes, the NCCA, and especially the Philippines being the chairman of the ASEAN, we had been doing a lot of cultural exchanges from the different members of this ASEAN. And just last week, we also had symposium in Davao City about the ASEAN spirit of community building. And more than that, in the South, we are planning to hold on September 20 to 24 about the Budayao. This is an activity of cultural exchange, cultural exhibit on the BIMP IAGA countries, wherein we will be sharing our talents, our cultural excellence, cultural uniqueness. But yet, I see that this activity will point out to the semblance or the unity or one kind of culture that there is really somewhat similarity among us that binds these countries in
there is
ASEAN.
kinship with these countries, no? You have Brunei, the IAGA
Brunei,
thing, Indonesia,
Malaysia,
Malaysia.
Philippines, Laos.
Laos. So it's really a bridge, because that's what the UN wants, bridging and breaking down intolerance, hindi ba?
Yeah, precisely.
You really get to know each other. And I don't think you want to kill somebody who's a friend.
Yeah. But one of the things that I had read is that for us to really come on terms with people around the world, for us to really understand other culture, for us to really to understand other people. It's the best approach to see, to experience, and to appreciate their culture for us to be able to relate with them
Yeah.
properly.
That's why we're so glad in fact, we were talking with Tess because the UNESCO has approved as a means to try and lower the decibel of confrontation and aggression in the conflicted China Sea. So there will be a music theater peace concert, which was affirmed by the International Theater Institute, which you supported for as NCCA head in order to affirm this kinship with artists from claimant countries. Of course, may labanan, ano? Akin ito. Pero hopefully, the cultural dialogue among artists might provide a platform of better understanding and not so much to go into jewels or all kinds of armed conflict. Hopefully, we can stop it.
Precisely. I believe that this one way of exchanging our artists, going from countries to another countries,
Yeah.
will give us an avenue to reach out other these
Yeah.
countries. Then it will establish us a relationship wherein we can really indeed come to a certain terms.
Yeah, and it's a way to promote, let's say, information about the ASEAN Code of Conduct, which we hope will really be forged and will be made applicable. And then for people to understand, ano ba yung law of the sea? Para hindi agawan, but there's a common, domain for transmission and access. So the artist can take the lead there, and we're grateful. We were talking to Senator Legarda, and she was enthused about this and was glad that the UN was involved and was
Yes,
making
Senator
arrangements.
Legarda is very supported in aspects of cultural development,
Mm-hmm.
cultural promotion,
Yeah.
and in fact, she encouraged us to extend more than what we are doing today,
Mm-hmm.
and to make it more institutionalized and to make it more relevant to
Yeah.
other countries.
But this peace concert among, supposedly there is some conflict, but we hope that the bridging of friendship can be established through the artist, as what you're going to be doing in September. And that's what we're planning also with the United Nations through UNESCO and UNIC. Tess, isn't it?
Yes, Cecile. We're planning several initiatives addressing the plight of child soldiers, healing the trauma of refugees, and also taking care also of our armed services personnel, the impact of the war on them as well.
Especially on the families also of
Yes.
armed personnel. Before, with the ITI, we did workshops with children of soldiers, the ones who have been orphaned, or some of their parents or their fathers have been disabled. And you can see the angst and the pain, and you really need to work out a therapeutic approach for them to come to terms. And this is where arts is so useful, even for rehabilitation of drug dependence.
Yeah, talking about it, in the entire program of the NCCE, we try to be more effective in our activities. We have already partnership with the youth group, youth commission, and even the drug programs. We have planned for this. I think this will be implemented by the coming days or years. Initially, we are trying to make the agency, the NCCA, really an agency that can be a catalyst for good change, a catalyst wherein people can understand. Because I believe that culture is a thing that will make a person or people go towards what is best for them.
Yeah. Parang it really builds on spirituality through culture.
Yes. At the same
It's
time,
food
yeah.
for the
Food for
spirit
the soul,
and the
yeah.
mind.
And I believe also that art is just somewhat an expression of your cultural perfection. The more you perfect your work, the more you perfect your activity, your doings, eventually it will produce
Yeah.
an art and a good art.
Well, for one, with Tess, in terms of UNIC and the Earth Savers and the ITI, we appreciate your support for Disability Month.
Yes, thank you.
Now it's Peace Month, so we're working on this and the SDGs. Hopefully, people will understand the need to work together, as you said, to care. It's caring and sharing, really. And when there is greed and when there is really oppression, you're really going to engender armed conflict. So if we go to the root cause, I think we'll be able to achieve that desire of building a culture of peace.
Actually, this is our world. This is not the world of other people. Everyone here in this world, this is our place. So it's just a matter of coming into terms. And the best way here is to share our culture, to share our talents, and to open up the world, the eyes of other people that we are here for peace, we are here for unity, and we are here for greater progress.
Yeah, that's really a wonderful thing for everybody to hear, that you can source the NCCA as the agency to help the cultural development in your community, in your schools, to build the values for, as what the UN wants for this year's theme: respect,
Safety,
safety,
dignity for all.
dignity for all. If we can help with, especially for our artists' livelihood and their health, you know, that's a major problem, ED, you know. So many of our artists are in
Respect.
trouble with their health.
Yeah. I believe the values that you're talking about,
Yeah.
respect,
Dignity,
dignity, and
Safety,
safety,
yeah.
are actually they're already outlined in that Philippine Development Plan,
Plan,
because
yeah.
there is that character of malasakit and creativity.
Mm-hmm.
When I said to these people, the artists, I told them, you know, when you talk about these values and characters, it's just all there. It's where, what kind of art you are in, it's how you will translate
Mm-hmm.
in a way that it will always carry or bear the character of that you do an art, you do a performance because you care and you would like to express something for them what is best for these people. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity that you help us, and then
But please tell ED, I'm sure they're interested, especially those in Mindanao, to join the Iaga Festival. Where will it exactly be held?
I'm inviting everyone, especially from the neighboring countries, the ASEAN, and particularly the people in the Philippines, because we'll have the first time that we will have the cultural exhibition of all these countries of the BIMP IAGA, wherein we can experience, we can see and understand what are these Asian countries really for. And that will be open up our minds and eyes that after all, we are all just people with talents and with desire of perfecting our
So
skills.
where will it be?
It will be held on in General Santos City.
Jensan.
Yes,
Sa
Jensen
Jensan.
in Mindanao.
In Mindanao. But if you need some information, you can call the office of the ED
Yes.
at NCCA, and that's 527-2192.
Yes,
right?
precisely.
Yes.
And besides, we have also a website wherein you can
Yan.
look into our activities. And for now, we are actually building that idea of respect, safety, and dignity for all. And that is what I'm trying to do now. We have to try to build up the Council for the Culture and the Art in a way that all that we are doing will be institutionalized and be made part in the grassroots levels.
Actually, the artist can be considered the creative army of our country to defend these values that we care for: truth, justice, peace, sustainable development.
So we have a lot of programs now at the National Commission for the Culture in terms of culture and arts. In fact, one of the senators there was talking that he would like that in his region they will have the artist village, which I already had been
Yeah.
talking in
We-
Davao City.
Yeah, actually, long ago, even with the term of GMA,
Yes.
we were hopefully building an artist village in Angono because it wanted to
Yeah,
be
it's one of
branded
the
as a
artist
art city,
city.
or art municipality. So uh, there was land, and I think it can, with a greater appreciation now of arts as really an integral element for sustainable development. Di ba?
Yes.
And I think the UN now, the SecGen, and all agencies of the UN are all focused on this need for peace because there's too much death and destruction, and at least it's very clear. And we want to thank you for your support for the tripartite conference to make a roadmap to show to the world that yes, the Philippines will fulfill the Paris Accord so that we can really decarbonize and have a clean, healthy world for our children. So I think before we end, we're going to ask our special guests from UNIC and from NCCA to give yung last words of wisdom, tilamsik ng diwa. Ladies first.
Okay, following up on what you mentioned earlier, the Unite for Heritage campaign of UNESCO. Now, this is a very important initiative because there is an unprecedented incidence of attacks on cultural
Yeah.
sites. And I just want to let the public know that Secretary General Guterres has reaffirmed a UN Security Council decision
Yeah.
saying that attacks on cultural sites now constitutes war crimes.
Yeah, it's a criminal act.
Yes. So the UN is putting its back behind
Yeah.
UNESCO in this
yes.
regard.
We as UNESCO Artists for Peace took our pledge in Paris for the Unite for Heritage. And certainly when we're talking of Marawi and other places endangered not just by conflict, but also by climate catastrophes, we really have to be sensitive to its protection, our defense. And we hope that, well, we have the UN and our national agencies working together and working. You're allowing us as private and NGOs to collaborate and link up. And now it's the Huling Tilamsik ng Diwa from Executive Director Pableo of NCCA.
Thank you. I would say charity begins at home. We've got to be kind to each one of us. We've got, if you want to be kind with the world, we've got to start within ourselves. And I can assure with the UN and the UNESCO that from now on we will work very hard on that perspective in that direction because we believe this is not only for us, this is not only for you, but I believe this will be for the world and for the coming generations because we love people and we love our culture and art.
Well, thank you very much. So we had a lovely discussion, lively discussion on the importance of culture as an essential ingredient for building a culture of peace and sustainable development and social justice. So it's very important that we are together in this effort, and all artists can unite, not just for heritage, for peace, for sustainable development. And please watch out for a lot of our collaborative efforts. As we said, a soap opera on DZRH, Radyo Balintataw, with the Climate Change Commission, and of course, always NCCA in the forefront of cultural dissemination. It's for the SDGs. Paano ho ba maliliwanagan? We have so many teachers, we have so many local government officials and bureaucrats unless they themselves internalize what sustainable development goals are, they cannot really apply it, they cannot promote it, they cannot encourage citizens to participate and build, as we said again, for this year's Peace Month.
Together for peace, respect, safety, and dignity for all.
Yeah. And I think you have one more minute each for a real plug for our causes.
Maybe you start.
Edie, what is your special appeal?
Well, since this is now the time for us to really go into a better change, encourage everyone, especially those who are in the world of art, that let us continue to do our art in a way that people can understand and can appreciate the beauty of the world, and always make something that will truly help us express our peace and unity and love.
Yeah, thank you. Arts can change the world, can transform. And would like to take this opportunity to thank the Ramon Magsaysay Foundation for the honor that was given to PETA as an organization, its family of artists throughout the country, even overseas, in applying dynamically the arts, theater, and including its broadcast outreach as a force for education to achieve peace, truth, and justice. And now we'll have the last word from the UN.
Yes. You know, the UN was founded on the pursuit of peace, following World War II, and it is a continuing goal. It has to be a multi-stakeholder effort. It's not the UN's responsibility alone. The youth are an integral part of this effort for peacemaking, and we hope that through the arts, we will be able to educate our youth and to engage them more effectively, more meaningfully in partnering with the government, with organizations like the UN in promoting peace,
Yeah.
a sustainable and lasting peace.
Oo. Ang sabi nga nila, ang sining ay nagpapalawak ng kamalayan, nagyuyug-yug ng konsyensya, at talagang tatamaan ang puso para makiisa, magmalasakit, at magbago para sa magandang kinabukasan ng ating mga anak at mga susunod na salinlahi. So, happy Peace Day throughout September, through all of the days of the years, forever. Sana po, kapayapaan ang kailangan natin. We can't fight poverty if there is armed conflict, as well as hopefully it is twinned with our action to respond to climate disasters and build resilience among our communities. Sama-sama ho tayo at aabutin natin ang tugatog ng tagumpay. So, on behalf of Buddy Cunanan, this is Cecile Guidote Alvarez for the International Theatre Institute, Network for Social Change, as well as Earth Savers, UNESCO Artists for Peace. Sana po, mamayani ang kapayapaan sa ating minamahal na bayan. May peace prevail on earth.